Morning, ladies and gents. So, this is our second episode of No Comment, and this comes from Redditor ScotTrucker, who I'm assuming is either Canada or the UK because he talks about Boxing Day. So, I'm obviously from the US, so please excuse my Midwesternness. So this is again no comments on it, which totally fine. That's why we're here. It's titled Christmas Day Plans, and I chose this because I 100% get where he's coming from, and I'll explain all that later. Okay, so it starts off. I know, it's only September, but thinking towards plans for Christmas. Good idea. A bit of important information first. I'm 39 and don't have a normal family dynamic. I have a sister who's 37 and severely disabled, permanently wheelchair bound, and my mom passed away 19 years ago, so my direct family consists of my dad, who's 75, my sister, myself. We have been in the current property we're in for 13 years. Of those 13 years, we have spent the entirety of Christmas Day at home only once. I assume that was probably during COVID. Our Christmas Day usually consists of morning activities like opening presents with the kids and then getting dressed and heading over to my dad's or sister's for Christmas, lunch, or dinner, cooked by my aunt, who also lives on her own. This year, my wife and I are keen on spending Christmas at home. However, this creates a problem. We live in a 4 block and we don't have, um, I'm sorry, and we have the upstairs property. Misread that. So it's impossible for my sister to access. So she doesn't have transport to get here either, other than a taxi, which would be very expensive. So, do I be selfish and tell my dad and sister we're having Christmas by ourselves and we'll spend Boxing Day with them? It doesn't feel right, or it doesn't feel like Christmas when we spend it with my dad and sister. Both of them are always fussing about my younger girls who are pretty full on, and this creates stress for my wife and I, and it's not an enjoyable experience. Totally get that. Any advice or opinions are welcome. I'm also aware Christmas is about family, but for us, it would be nice to spend Christmas by ourselves for a change. Okay, so, ScotTrucker, I completely understand. I come from a very, very, very large family, and a very warm family. Loud, but warm. And my mom is the oldest of 9, mostly girls. There's 7 girls. And anytime anyone gets married and brings someone new into the family, we adopt them. And not just the new husband. We adopt their family. So we will be having Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, holidays, whatever, at someone's house. And then we will ask them when they show up, hey, is your mom and dad, are they coming? And they'll say, yeah, they'll be here in a bit, or no. So we adopt them like Pokemon cards. So I understand about family dynamics and a time for family and stuff. But also, that being said, everyone in my family, my experience, has also done this. You wake up on Christmas, you open presents with your kids, you may or may not even eat like a full breakfast. I'm Catholic, so we'll go to church. And then we may or may not come home to change, and then we'll head to grandma's house, or since she's older now, we'll go to my other aunt's house. So I totally 100% understand just being so exhausted and can we just stay home? Um, when I'm divorced, but when I was married, this was also the situation because he also had a very large family, not as big as mine, but they loved holidays. And so luckily, we were lucky that at least Christmas, his family did Christmas Eve. So the kids could at least go and enjoy lunch and dinner and stay home and, play with their presents. And that was their thought too, is, Christmas morning will be with your immediate family at your house so your kids can stay and play. They don't have to get up and all that stuff. So I totally understand. Also, I get the disappointment in the family because, again, family is very large. When we get together and then someone's not there, we notice. Like, man, I really wish they would have come, but it's your family, man. Like, it sucks and it might cause a little bit of upset. Especially because it is just you and your sister. Like, you don't have, 7 other siblings like my mom did, or 5 other siblings like I do. it is just you and your sister, and it does suck. And I assume you mentioned the 4 block walk up because your sister's in a wheelchair. So even if they wanted to say, "Hey, you stay home, we come to you," can't do that because you live in a walk up, and my guess is probably not wheelchair accessible. Sucks, but uh, if that is the case, and your family has an issue with it, I wonder if I don't want to say this because I feel like my perspective for me, maybe not for you, but for me, I feel like I would be being selfish to be like, hey, why don't we have Christmas on Boxing Day? Like, why don't we have the family Christmas then so that, the kids aren't confused, Santa and all that stuff at home. But I can see how, your whole family, despite the fact it's only, 3 other people, are not going to change, what they've been doing for 50 years or 30 years, almost 40 years for just you and your family. And that's their choice, just like it's your choice to stay home. It might suck, it might cause a little bit of a tiff, but if you want to stay home, you're not being a jerk. You're not asking too much. You clearly have young kids. I have 3 young kids. I don't always want to go. Like it wasn't Christmas, but Easter one year, I was like, I don't want to go. Like I want to stay here, cook here, fine, but or not have sandwiches. I don't know. But I just don't want to go. I don't want to deal with the traffic. You clearly live either in the UK. I'm going to say UK, not Canada, just by some other verbiage you used. So I don't know what traffic is like there. I do know that my state is probably about as big as your country. So, um, but I don't know what that means for traffic. So traffic with at least 2 little kids, um, or younger kids, not necessarily like toddlers or anything, because you said they are getting on. It's just it's too much, and I feel like your family will understand that because you have a disabled sister and understand, be like, hey, you know how much of a hassle it is. Now, I'm not comparing having children to being disabled. Don't get me wrong, but it's not just, hey, let's get on our coat, shoes, walk out the door kind of thing. You know, so I feel like your family should kind of understand, be like, hey, you know, it's a little bit more effort, uh, to say the least, to get children ready, to get, you know, this wheelchair up the stairs. Like, so yes, it sucks, and sure, I'm sure you'll be missed, obviously, but it's not a selfish ask. You know, again, I'm exhausted just thinking about it because you mentioned Christmas in September. It is September, the end of September, but September nonetheless. I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah, it'd be nice for you to spend Christmas with your family, and your family should be the priority. Maybe there'll be hurt feelings, maybe there'll be a little butt hurt. Um, oh well. Will it suck? Maybe for you to realize that that's what kind of happened? Yes. But oh well. Like, I'm sorry, but my family takes priority right now. And that's what a lot of people, I hate to say this, but a lot of, especially men, don't understand is this is your family now. Like, yes, parents, siblings, whatever, but your wife and kids, their comfort, what they want comes first. Always, regardless of what anyone else says. They are your number one priority, and they should be. And if they want to stay home, stay home. No one, even if your dad, aunt, sister, whatever, get upset, you protected your family as you should. Your peace of mind, your kids, what they want, and your wife will remember that. Your kids will remember that. But mostly, again, as a woman, your wife will appreciate that. If that's both your decisions, be like, hey, how will we stay home this year? Oh my God, thank you. like, like again, nice to see family, especially during the holidays. But It's about being with family. You are with your family. Um, and like I said, trust me, your wife especially will remember this and remember that you protected your family's peace of mind and easiness and comfort, instead of trying to please everyone, which you can't do. It sucks and it's hard to accept, but you can't win it all. You can't please everyone. But yeah, that's my advice. Again, it's a good thing you brought it up now in September, even before Thanksgiving, so that you're not getting bombarded even at Thanksgiving. Be like, oh, well, now this is over, so what are we doing for Christmas? And you're like, oh, by the way, we're not coming. So I think that's actually, I think it's actually a very good idea, and I'm glad you thought of this. Like I said, in September versus end of November. So, and no one feels blindsided. But yeah, no, I don't think you'd be the jerk. I don't think you'd be an asshole. I think you are actually being a very, very, very good husband if that is what you guys all decided. Um, but yeah, so that's my advice. So update, let me know what happens, and I will keep an eye on this and see if there's actually any other comments that come up because as of right now, there's none.